Okay, then about Eduko and itslearning. Our story actually started several years ago when we were still Taitaja, and we were looking for a like best possible or suitable e-learning environment for our school. And I think that this is quite a success story, so I would like to share it with you today. What we did first was that we engaged our teachers very strongly in evaluation and selection process. So it didn't come from upwards that the managers would have said that, okay, folks, let's take this, but they were allowed to participate and do some benchmarking and research. And we had small multi-sectoral teacher groups who compared different systems. Then after that, when they had their proposals, we had this cross-sectoral group which then made our joint resolution. And this proposal was given to our executive board, and they made the decision and gave us also the budget for this project. And so when we decided at Taitaja that we want to take itslearning, the second step was that we started constructing or creating a good partnership with itslearning people. And
can I?
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Because I think it was quite funny actually when we started with the, developing our digital projects, digital tools, and we got some money from the Ministry of Education, and we didn't know what will happen quite soon, I mean COVID. And there were people who say that I don't never need this kind of tool like itslearning, and a little bit or quite a lot of resistance also for it. But then when COVID came, they understood that it was so good that we had started that project a little bit earlier and everybody could use it somehow. And then they learned quite soon to use it, and we just could manage that thing which came just in one night.
Yeah. We had a total lockdown, so nobody was allowed to come to school. And for example, how do you teach cookery? So our teacher became very creative. Every student, they came to school one at a time, and they got a bag of raw materials for the project of the day.
To take home?
Yeah, to take home to their own kitchens. After that, the teacher showed how to do the preparations using her own camera, and the students were looking at the process at home. Then they did the same thing in their own kitchen, and in the afternoon they shared the results with everybody using itslearning and the camera. So we had to be very creative at that point. And I don't know, it was good luck that we started the project with itslearning.
A little bit earlier.
Yeah. And we proceeded very strongly also. It wasn't just talk, but we really started doing the things. So most of the other e-learning environments or learning management systems, they are quite faceless. If you use Moodle, there's nobody you can call and ask, how do I do this? Or could we get something special into our system or something? So what was extremely important was that we had these assigned few persons from itslearning who we could call whenever needed, any technical or pedagogical questions. and that we also had regular meetings here in Kouvola with them. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I would like you to explain more about Moodle because it is there in Tanzania and some of the institutions feel that this is enough. Moodle is satisfactory. Now I just want to learn the advantages of itslearning compared to Moodle.
Well, actually, we also used, or some of our teachers used Moodle before, and they decided, and their opinion is that itslearning was better because there is more variety in the activities. You can include other digital tools into itslearning. There is learning analytics where the teacher can, for example, follow how much the students are working and how they are proceeding. And of course, the dialogue and the development that we've done with itslearning is also very important. There's really nobody that you can call in Moodle. I don't know what their telephone number is, but I knew what Kenneth's number was.
I think it's in Australia actually.
The hosting part is also significant. Right?
Yeah.
So if you can tell a little bit about that to them. The hosting part.
Yeah, it will come. Step 3, deployment. So we started building our technical systems and interfaces. This is something that's because we have huge like digital administrative systems where we have all our students. So we have an interface with itslearning so that when the student starts their studies, they will be connected with one password to itslearning. And we have, for example, a student intranet where there is one door from which you go to our eCampus, and itslearning is the walls of everything. So the student has to have only one password to get access to everything, all the digital tools that we have. And that's very important because the students tend to lose their passwords and links, and it's also important that all the two teachers use the same tools so that we have the technicians who take care of everything. You can't choose whatever you like because there will be problems if everybody. The students have difficulty in remembering, okay, this teacher uses what? Moodle, okay. What does that other teacher? Okay, where's the password for that and this and that? So one password and everything is there.
This has been quite a problematic also because they have been used to use whatever. I like to use this one and I like to use this one, but it doesn't work. You can't handle the system like that everybody has the possibility to use whatever they want.
Yeah, and it's also expensive because all the licenses are expensive. So this is also like a financial question. Then we had to set some pedagogical principles, and for example, some of our pedagogical principles is that in our eCampus there has to be guidance, cooperation, a dialogue. So it's not just a stock of Word documents or something. It's a place where you really actively learn and do and cooperate and interact with others, the teacher and the students, and sometimes also the working life representatives. We have.
When you asked about the model, for me, model is like a container. But this is active too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we started arranging workshops for our teachers. And we also named some designated support persons. And this was extremely important during the COVID because we had some teachers who didn't use itslearning before. And they are like, I'm teaching bricklaying. How do you teach bricklaying through internet? So we had one support person who was really sitting beside these teachers and helping them to create their courses and include all kinds of videos and smart technologies and making some test materials and whatever. So you really have to have people who want to give a hand to their colleagues. And it's a good idea to name some people who are willing to do this. And we have one main person, Suvi, but we also have some, every training branch has their own support people. So you can call them whenever you need help or assistance. So it's important to create a system in your school for the support. Then there has to be positive and supportive communication about this, because for some teachers this was difficult. They were not ready. They were not used to using digital tools. So it's important to communicate and encourage people, and also the support and the guidance of the management is extremely important. We have to talk the same talk. All the managers and team leaders have to say, okay guys, we're going to use this. We're going to help you, but you're going to use it if you want to get your salary. So you cannot say that I'm not going to do this.
Now Tuija is talking about the time after the emerge, because I think in Taiteilijan time everybody had the lesson, learned the lesson why it is important to be able to use it. But now we are in a different situation.
Yes. Yeah. And for example, we have now here something like 20 practical nurse students from China. And before they came to Finland, they had a few months very intensive Finnish language learning using itslearning. So it gives us opportunities also to operate abroad and combine things that, because as Leena said, we're going to need some immigrants who want to come to work in Finland and become the happy taxpayers in Finland. So we have to combine these elements to facilitate the learning path for them. Because obviously working as a nurse in an elderly people's home, if you don't speak English or Finnish, it becomes a bit difficult, because the Finnish elderly people, they speak Finnish or at sometimes Swedish, but usually not English.
As you might know, China as a state, they have very strict rules against, for example, Microsoft. But we could use Zoom and itslearning even in China. That's very good.
And that was also something that we had to discuss with itslearning, that do you have any experience? Does this system work in China? And obviously it did.
Yeah, we have tried it, and we even have Mandarin translation in itslearning.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you know? Can we
I mean, you should be able to see that easily, right? Because it's in the drop-down menu on the login screen.
But actually, I think
So
we
we
can.
translated this in 2018 to Mandarin Chinese.
Okay, but our teachers can't understand it, so maybe English and Finnish is better.
Yeah, and they have to learn Finnish because they're going to work here and study here. And at the moment we have, for example, one project called Future Professionals, where we have trained university teachers in Poland, Hungary and Greece to use itslearning and digital pedagogy. So we are doing it here and there. I don't know if you can see this, but we will certainly share the presentations with you so that you can have a better look at them. But this is called technological pedagogical content knowledge, which we in these times need the teachers to have. So of course they have to have the technological skills, they have to have the content skills or content knowledge, which is the subject that they are teaching, and then they have to have the pedagogical knowledge. And I think itslearning is, and our e-campus is a combination of that. So to make a high quality e-campus, you have to be able to, all those skills or knowledges have to be present in the process. If you have good technological skills but no understanding of pedagogy, it's not gonna become good. Or if you don't know enough about the subject you are teaching, it's not good. Here are some solutions and challenges that we faced. The main ideas is that you have to have, when you start this kind of project, you have to have systematic communication to your staff. You have to have leadership that is committed to the project, and you have to have a shared vision about what your e-campus or what your digital learning environment is going to be like. And it's a good idea to just write them down. Like there has to be enough guidance, there has to be learning analytics, there have to be good activities, you have to have multi-channel content. So remember to encourage your staff. Remember to share the success stories. Be trustful. Make sure that you provide adequate support for the teachers and others. For example, our study counselors are also in itslearning, so they have to also be trained for this. And hopefully, as we did, you will find some devoted forerunners, some teachers who immediately start trying and doing things, and they will sort of show the way to the others who are maybe slower learners. And remember to support and encourage experimentation. The system doesn't break if you do some wrong things there. Everything can be corrected, so encourage the teachers to experiment and then develop or further develop the content together. Use the networks of, for example, best practices or shared knowledge. Like Leena said earlier, some of the teachers were quite hesitant to start doing this, and one explanation for this is that in Finland we have something called the teacher's autonomy, which means that I think that I'm at the center of the learning. Nobody can say what I should do, how I should teach, what systems, tools I should use. And we are trying to, I can't say that we are trying to change anything, but we are trying to encourage people to share more knowledge together, create itslearning courses together, because we have, like if you have 5 teachers teaching exactly the same thing, it's in the students' interest to get the same quality teaching from everybody. The evaluation should be same, so that I would put the student at the center of this, and teachers are hovering around them, so not teachers at the center.
And there's also this thing about materials. If there are 5 teachers which all have five materials, if they put it together, it will become 25 materials. So it is also very effective.
Yeah, and they could update everything together, and because COVID or whatever, there are often situations where some of the teachers is absent. So how easy is it for the colleague to take in also the other group when we have the shared material and we know what we have? Make sure that you provide individual guidance. Find in your organizations the people who are easy to approach, who have the positive attitude, and who have the perseverance to explain things 1,000 times again. So if you have that kind of people, you are really lucky.
And maybe some technical understanding.
Yeah. You can use gentle compulsion. So no is not the answer. We don't accept that there are some people who say that this is not for me. It's for everyone. And then we have this thing called sisu in Finnish. Sisu, that's perseverance. So don't lose your trust if everything doesn't go so well. Just keep on working, because at the end you will reach really great results. And like I have heard now from our my best itslearning specialist Suvi told me when we started in this bigger after the merger, that some people said that I don't want and I can't and I will not learn. And now, having done this for 1 year, the same people have started doing. They say that this is far better than Moodle or Pedanet, which I used before. And this is not difficult. So encourage, trust, push and pull the people. So we have a e-campus for teachers and students, and it's like the itslearning is the base. Itslearning is like the walls and roof and everything, like any other, like this campus. And but we have also some other tools in there. There you can see a selection of things that we use. So for example, it's nice to use Mural, which is a tool for students' co-creation. It's like a sticker board where the students can go jointly in there, and they can, if I give them a task of something, they can put in their own stickers and everybody can see what everybody is doing, and they can move each other's stickers or delete them if they want. DynaEdge is smart glass technology. So if the teacher shows how, for example, how to repair the brakes of a car, he has the smart glasses on, and he's videoing and explaining the process, and we are editing it and sharing with the students. So when it's the students' turn to do the brake maintenance thing, they can check how did the teacher say, which tools, what should I do first, and so forth. So in the long run, I think this will also share or save the teacher's time in many ways, because you will get material which you can use very flexibly. And for example, we have many immigrant background students and they don't know Finnish that well. If I have recorded my speech or my lesson or whatever, they can go back to it and listen to it in itslearning and check. If I'm doing it just in the classroom, it's that one time that I'm doing it and it's goodbye. It has disappeared. So it's a good, nice idea to do also some recordings, videos, things like that, so that the students can go back to them. As we talked, of course, the authentic learning environments are important. I wouldn't be happy to be treated by a practical nurse who has just taken some e-learning. So it's a good part of contact learning. We advise our teachers to use it, even in the classroom work. And all the assignments and things that the students produce, they send them to the teacher via itslearning, so that everything is saved there, and the students can put them into their own portfolios and maybe use them later on if they go, for example, to the University of Applied Sciences. And there is also this recognition of prior learning process. So they can demonstrate, okay, I can show you a video what I've done. Modern technology is the thing here at Eduko. We use all kinds of things. For example, this robot, Elias, he has been programmed to teach Finnish. He's really, he doesn't get tired. As long as there is force in the battery, he will talk with our immigrant students. Hello, how are you? So he's really nice, and he does surprising things sometimes. We use drones, for example. We have motorsport mechanic training. I think we are one of the only in Finland, maybe the only one. Yeah. And then there is some specific logistic training like you can see here, and of course VR and AR are the things of today. And here is one slide that I used somewhere to explain what I think this was with the teachers from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro, when I explained what do we need to do. So when you start creating your courses, first of all you should ask yourself what is the most important things that the students need to learn. Keep up good cooperation with the working life, even if you are doing e-learning, because you can get quite a lot of material from the companies. They will give you manuals, they will give you videos. It's really useful material that you can get from the working life. Remember to connect e-learning with authentic working life situations. You can use simulation, pedagogy, or something like that. Don't just test if the students remember things, but if they can apply things to the real situations in wherever they are working. Combine theory and practice in a motivating way and use multi-channel elements, so not just PDF documents, but videos, PowerPoints, links, podcasts, whatever you can come up with. Remember to give the students timely feedback, and when you start working in your e-learning environment, don't forget to tell the students how the communication is supposed to happen. Like we have this kinds of rule that everybody has to have their camera open when we are having face-to-face online learning, so that nobody sleeps, and it's also very difficult for the teacher to be really lively against a black screen. So it's much nicer to see people. And put the students in the center. That is important. And this is the last slide. So let's learn and prosper together. I think that we have a lot of things to learn still. We are just started in this new organization. And knowing the huge potential that you have in Tanzania, you know, we have been trying out and doing things for very, very many years, but you can take a huge leap. You don't have to fall into all the pitfalls that we did fall into, because we can now tell you what you are not supposed to do and what you should do. So knowing the great potential, I think that you could have a huge future in your area and become really forerunners in e-learning and things like that.